This is RFC Extra, episode 20. I am Brian Kilby. This week's episode of RFC Extra features information released by Hasbro, including really awesome stuff like, Powermaster Optimus Prime and G2 Bruticus. Really cool stuff like that. This week's episode is actually hosted by Rob Clay, and Rob had a chance to sit down with Hasbro to discuss all of these reveals. There's way more than just Bruticus and Optimus Prime, but those are my favorites. Also, a big shout out to Anthony Brucali of TFU.info. Anthony was kind enough to get us some additional information to support the production of this episode. And of course, RFC Extra is brought to you by you. Just go to tfradio.net/Amazon. Do all your Amazon purchasing there. We would appreciate it. Amazon will send back a little bit of cash our way to help us run the show. Platinum Edition Triptychon is currently available. Go to tfradio.net/Triptychon to go straight to the page. Now let's join the guys.
You are listening to RFC Extra. I'm Rob Clay. I've got Titan Master Don, XV, Diecast, Melvar, and John DeLuna with me. And we're talking about the Hasbro Q&A session that happened on Wednesday and the press release and images you are probably seeing by now. We basically got a big preview of what's coming up for Titan's return, including stuff that we had not seen at New York Comic Con, quite a bit of it. And also Robots in Disguise and some lingering Combiner Wars stuff. Yeah, we've got some pictures of some new stuff here. Quite a bit of it unexpected, or, quite a bit of it expected but not seen in any way before. So I've got some notes here from the Q&A I sat in on, so let me just jump into it. And do we want to go over the RID stuff first? I don't think it's going to take too terribly long if you guys want to do it.
Yeah, they're fans out there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we've got the big thing they talked about are new minicons next year. There's a third type coming out, Cyclone minicons, which look for all the world like Bakugan. They're little, spheroid things that turn into little walkers and spiders and things like that. We're also getting some environment-based minicon sets. We saw some of the Blizzard Strike things at New York Comic Con, and we're getting Scorch Strike to go with that. That's like desert-type decos. We're getting a Blizzard Strike recolor. We saw, of course, with Deployer Drift, and we're getting a new mold, Overload, who launches Cyclone-type minicons specifically. They're now dividing up the minicon deployers into what types of minicons they launch. Overload is a tank. He kind of looks like Impactor in a different color scheme. I asked about that, but that was not intentional. They wanted somebody who looked good and tough and and tankish and mohawky, and they wound up with something that looks an awful lot like Impactor.
I really hope they do a warrior class of this design. It's really cool looking.
It is. I really like that figure. So, we're also getting some interesting minicon battle packs. We're getting, they seem to be slightly larger figures of established characters with more weapons and armor versus minicons. Optimus Prime will be fighting Lord Doomatron, and comes with a bunch of fancy armor that turns into a gigantic hammer. So, considering there's a hammer there, I would not be surprised to see that as an Ultra Magnus recolor at some point. Sideswipe is fighting Decepticon Anvil. He comes with his armor that turns into a big capture claw. So yeah, they're trying to get more accessories and weapons into Robots in Disguise. They said they understood that people were wanting more of that, and that's something they're trying to do this year. Their favorite is the Wave 2 Grimlock, which comes with armor that looks very much like movie Grimlock, and turns into basically a dinosaur head he can wear on his hand like Beast Wars Megatron. So I think these look pretty good. I kind of want to get a look at them in scale with some of the warrior class stuff in person, because I don't have, that good a grasp of how the, main characters scale to anything else, or if they do. So, that remains to be seen. And that was...
They don't really scale to anything because they're all just the same size.
Yeah, they are about the same size as the mini-cons, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I can see kids liking this. There's interesting play value here. There's interesting ideas.
Yeah, I like that they're adding some of the add-on armor bits they had to the mini cons before onto the main characters now, and that's something they mentioned, is that Overload can actually launch Cyclone type mini cons with all of their armor attached. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's neat.
After that, we went into Titan's Return. We got to see some artwork for Fortress Maximus. No photos yet, but they are close enough to the leaked photo that I think it's a pretty good chance that that's close, at least, to what the final toy is going to look like. They also answered one of my questions before I even had it, which is that, yes, they do intend to continue with Combiner Wars releases into Titan's Return, and along those lines showed off Generation 2 Bruticus, which...
Yeah!
Yes!
Oh, man, that looks good. And,
I want a whole shelf just for the G2 combiners that they're doing, because that's definitely needed.
Yeah. Blast Off is, of course, still just Slingshot, but it still looks pretty good.
Oh,
so.
He looks even more like Slingshot now because he's white.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why they didn't use the Fireflight head, because that's closer to Blast Off than what they're using.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, just pop the head off, pop it back on, and...
I don't know if this makes any sense, but I can actually forgive it, Blast Off not being a plane in G2, or Blast Off not being a shuttle in G2 more than I can in G1. Because G2 to me is just like crazy colors, and, that's kind of what G2 is to me, so I'm not as mad that Blast Off is a plane.
Yeah.
My problem with it is just, like we pointed out already, it just looks even more like the Quickslinger toy now than the regular version does.
Yeah. Although it's still, at least it's still got its purple camo to set it apart. That's something. And also, I don't know if, I don't know if you guys have seen the picture yet, but they also showed off, just like the other sets have, G2 Powerglide, who never existed before, and G2 Blackjack. This will come with a G2 styled Shockwave with a paint job based off of the Action Masters deco.
Yeah, I did see that. He looks really great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But after that, they went on to in between that and Titan's Return, they showed off a little thing of blind box figures they're going to be releasing called alt modes. They're little super deformed things that basically you push a lever on their head and you can swap them in from basically a little super deformed robot to a vehicle with a giant robot head on top. They're cute. I don't think, honestly, that's for our market. That's for people who are probably more casual fans of Transformers, people who are not people who don't care what Blast Off was in 1986 as compared to now. That's going to be great for them, I think. But they're okay. They're just not anything I see myself getting. We got another look at Leader Blaster, and then probably the biggest surprise of the night was Powermaster Optimus Prime, who is, as we guessed, a recolor of Ultra Magnus. We just did not guess to what degree, or a remold rather of Ultra Magnus.
And this is an extensive remold of Ultra Magnus.
Oh yes.
It kind of puts the Springer Sandstorm level to shame.
Yeah, it does. This is much more along the lines of what XV was talking about with Swindle on this week's RFC.
Yeah, basically it's just going to share some engineering, not really a whole lot of parts.
Yeah, I think, is the cab even the same? I'm not sure.
Maybe?
No, actually it's not, because the windshield shape is different. The windshield
You're
shape
right.
is different.
Okay, so this is, it has the thighs.
And
the
the feet is
feet.
the same too.
Yeah,
And the
Yes,
feet.
the feet are definitely the same.
which is kind of a pity.
Yeah.
But
And
I will,
his weapons, his handguns are the same.
but I will
You know
note in the Q&A video that they actually had it holding its weapons and they did not fall out of the hands. So I'm hopeful.
Yay!
So what I want to know, presumably the cab still has the cockpit inside, since some of it looks like it's still the same. I wonder if the Titan Master can actually ride inside of it now in vehicle mode, since there's no Ultra Magnus head taking up space.
I don't know, because the base mode doesn't look like there's a seat in there.
Yeah,
Well, in the base mode, the cab is on the back side,
But
where we can't see it.
the cab doesn't look like it opens up.
I'm pretty sure it does. I think if you look at the top, it looks like there's a hinge. I think it may open differently than Magnus, but it still opens. And my guess, just from what we see right now, is that the helmet for Prime probably goes inside the cab. It's significantly larger than Ultra Magnus's head because, of course, it has to fit Autobot Apex in there. So I have a feeling that if the cockpit is not there anymore, it's because Prime's helmet has to take up that space.
And I love the fact that they named the Titan
Good
Master
point.
Apex.
Yes, that's
That's
nice.
pretty great.
They also mentioned that
I'm not surprised that they made it be a head still, but I'm a little disappointed it's not an engine for real Powermaster.
yeah,
Yeah.
I also kind of wish that the cab still turned into a separate Optimus Prime. That was like my favorite part of that toy. Probably everybody's. But
That was such a good toy.
it was.
Such a nice brick.
Mm-hmm. But they mentioned the Titan City bots, the bases all connect to each other and specifically also to Fortress Maximus. So they're promising an awful lot of features on this. They don't have images yet. I'm sure that will be the big reveal at Toy Fair or, the big leak 2 weeks from now. But it's coming.
And we will be at Toy Fair, so make sure you tune in now.
Yes. Always never miss our Toy Fair coverage. It's like the highlight of my year. It's great.
Yes, I look forward to that all year long.
Yeah. And the other thing we found out is that the poll we saw that we had leaked a few days ago that, to be honest, I didn't bother reporting on because I was not sure enough it was real. It's real. They want fans to vote on the 2017 Titan to choose between Trypticon, Scorponok, and Omega Supreme. They said that one of the reasons for this is that they were having a hard time deciding internally which one they wanted to do next, so they kind of want us to sell this. There's like a definite Team Trypticon and Team Omega Supreme on in the Hasbro design team, but I want Scorponok.
Same.
Yeah, let's definitely go Decepticon this time. I mean,
Scorponok's so boring, though.
Screw you, Diecast.
shut up.
Yeah, Diecast, you're wrong on that one. I'm sorry, you're just wrong.
I'm
Although
sure someone's gonna.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
Go by.
I
go by
prefer like a
Platinum
Voyager Scorponok, but still.
Yeah, I
Go
would
by
too.
Platinum Trypticon.
Yeah.
Vote for Scorponok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll be honest, I would love to see a Titan Omega with just enough of a resemblance to animated, so Paladin could probably he could finally get his animated Omega Supreme.
Okay, we can vote on that for 2018 though, but we need another Decepticon right now. So
Yeah.
vote Scorponok.
Yeah.
Scorponok in 2016.
I'm sorry, I want a big Omega Supreme. That's what I want.
So like like Scorponok Zarak 2017.
Exactly.
But yeah, I will be voting for Scorponok. But yeah, that they said that the results will be known much sooner than 2017 when they are scheduling this to come out. They will not leave people hanging that long to find out what the results were. So,
Good.
we will find out long before we're waiting for Toy Fair 2017 or the leaks before it. So this is good. After that, they had some Q&A. Monzo from the wiki asked what kind of name is back, because that is the name of one of the new Decepticon minicons. And their response was, it's a Cyclone minicon name. Cyclones are crazy and wily, and so they're going to have weird names. Honestly, I think it sounds like a Japanese name, but
It's not the only weirdly named minicon. Let's see which one. One of the yeah, Blizzard Strike Swelter.
mm-hmm.
Like, just think about that for a minute.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
It's like jumbo shrimp.
But the other thing, one of the other things they mentioned, someone asked, are the Titans supposed to be huge and the Titan Masters supposed to be like normal Transformer sized? They didn't give a specific answer to that. They did mention, however, that they wanted Titan Masters to bring the idea of mass shifting back to the line, and they specifically referenced Broadside in that sense.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not as a toy, but just as where they got the concept from. So, yeah, so that's nice. They seem to have a pretty good idea of the concepts behind it. Just beyond this would make a cool toy. So, they said that in terms of what the Titan Masters are, what exactly they mean, of course, IDW will be answering a lot of those questions. Somebody else asked, I think it was Monzo again, asked, is there any chance of getting a deluxe alligator con out of Skullcruncher? And the response was, get Optimus Prime's Titan Master and Skullcruncher and do it yourself. I asked how if they were going to be the team working on Micronauts and if there was anything they could say about that yet. And basically, no. There's not a lot they can say at the moment. So they said just hold tight and more information will be revealed. Someone asked what impact the Star City Neon, City Neon exhibition contract would have on BotCon. And they said that basically they compared the City Neon thing to the Indianapolis Children's Museum exhibit, which, of course, I'm pretty sure that's the reason that is the one exception outside Japan where they do not have the license. They also said that they were looking to bring things to different consumers in different ways. The City Neon thing was not intended to be a fan or collector convention. They were fully committed to fan conventions as well, but they did not specifically say they were committed to BotCon. I understand that the other Q&A group asked about Cybertron Con, but I did not think to do this, and neither did anybody else.
Oops.
Yeah, so check out the other sites who were sitting in on the Q&A, and you will find the information on that, hopefully. Somebody asked if there would be more opportunities in the future to create new G1 and Generations characters via fan vote. They said that's something they love too. That's something they're sure they'll be using in the future, but there's, of course, no announcements at this point. Because, like I said, they told me that they basically wanted to use us to settle the internal dispute as to which Titan gets made next.
Yeah, I mean that is the next Generations fan vote. So.
Mm-hmm. but it's not an original character,
And
of course.
yeah,
so.
but that's fine. I think that's a nice, fun change. Letting us pick a classic character, letting us pick what we want to see.
Yeah, I like that. Anytime they want to do that is fine with me. And I finally got to ask the entire team my question about Devastation Nova Prime. And the simple answer is that it was a coincidence. Battlecore Optimus Prime was supposed to be, an Armada-style power-up recolor. Platinum Games maybe didn't clue into that. The Nova Prime design is not something that apparently came from Hasbro. So, I just wanted to know that because I've been curious about that for so long now. And it was nice to get the whole team to answer my question. And John Morden apologized for the non-answer he gave me on Twitter when I asked. So. And beyond that, somebody asked about the divergence between Hasbro and Takara. And, the usual answer, Takara produces what's best for their market and their business. The reason they chose Sentinel Prime, though, well, the short answer is that because of his appearance in Megatron Origin. The long answer is that they wanted a new character and, an interesting new warrior, and John Barber had said that he wished he could have told more of Sentinel Prime's story, so apparently now he's going to get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, they, I asked them if it seemed, because it seemed to me like we've been getting more and more generation stuff every year, if there, had been a marked increase in the line's popularity. And they said, it's something that continues to build and something that is still growing, and they are, really happy to see that. So basically, everybody else asked all my questions, and I was out, so that's what I came up with.
They didn't mention anything about the obvious Astro Training repaint for Sentinel, did they?
No, and we were asked not to ask about, specific toys in development, so it's not something I could ask about either. So
honestly, I don't think that's one we have to ask about, though. I think we can just assume that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong chance.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I am going to say the wrong name here and sound like a fool. I'm pretty sure it's Jerry Javoyne announced that he is moving to Hasbro Italy, and he's going to be working on the Transformers brand in the Italian branch of the company.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, so best of luck to Jerry. He said, he's really enjoyed meeting everybody and all of us, all the fans talking to us at conventions. So, and one of the other design team members invited us to crash on his couch for Milan Comic Con. So,
with him going to the Italy branch, we might be seeing some interesting decos or exclusives coming out of there now. You never know.
Yeah, I wonder if Italy is still weird about toys, because I remember, way back on eBay, it used to be very difficult to get toys in or out of Italy. So that, they may be trying to do some specific things there. But it was a good it was a good Q&A session, and this is the third big round of reveals we've had this year. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, and we got Toy Fair coming up in a couple months, so that means they have to have a whole bunch, maybe not a whole bunch, but they have to have other stuff that they're planning on showing at Toy Fair.
Wave 2 at least of Titan's Return.
Yeah.
And of course, actual images of Fortress Maximus.
Yes, the actual physical Fortress Maximus. Yeah.
If that date is correct, they should have final copies there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that date is a little off. I think that's far too early.
It could be, but
Yeah, really. If that part of that information's right, it's not gonna be Toy Fair where we see Fortress Maximus, because they will have to have solicited that early release before that point.
Yeah. Though, how far in advance did that Amazon preview Optimus Prime show show up.
I want to say like the day before.
Yeah, so there's precedent there.
But it's also a movie toy, so I don't really pay that much attention.
Yeah, that's kind of thing.
No, I mean, I like the mentality the Hasbro team has right now where they want to reach out and engage with the fans through the major sites.
Yeah.
And like keep a stream of reveals coming for us throughout the year.
Yeah, that way we don't have the massive, 4-month gap between San Diego and Toy Fair, or 5, whatever months it may
7
be.
months.
7 months, whatever it may be, exactly. And there's nothing, there's very little coming out. There's not much going on. There's no engagement, like you said, and it's boring.
I kind of have to think too, like Devastator got ruined for Toy Fair last year because of the leaks. And I think maybe they want to try to like get out ahead of that now and get the stuff out there on their terms, even if they have to adjust the way they're doing it.
And it's already started this year with Fortress Maximus. I mean,
right.
I mean, we wound up getting a photo like days before this, so.
And the leak through Chinese bootleg Twitter of the Facebook Titan poll.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I kind of wonder if they knew that stuff was leaked, and that's why this Q&A session even got called, but who knows?
I'd be like, it seems like a really short turnaround time to organize something like this, but on the other hand, like the whole timeline of this feels really compressed too, so I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it sucks that Devastator's Surprise got ruined last year, but on the other hand, if that gets us into a state where we're seeing more of this stuff through the year and seeing it the way it's supposed to be seen first most of the time, I can live with that.
Yeah, and all credit to Hasbro. I've always felt like attempting to control and stop the leaks is pretty futile. So, finding another way to keep, the information more or less under their control, or at least where they're comfortable with feeling like it's under their control, I'm perfectly happy with things going this way.
Yeah. And it keeps excitement for the brand up too if we're constantly learning about new stuff that's going to be coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is something that the various leaks had kind of provided for them, and I think they realized that, they could do that themselves.
Yes, I appreciate it far more when Hasbro does it themselves.
Yes.
You tend to get better pictures.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hasbro's official releases don't generally have a large bald man standing in front of them.
I hope Nuremberg Toy Fair's, this entertaining next year.
When will that be? Like January, I think?
Late January, early February, somewhere in there.
Yeah. It was 3 weeks before ours, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they found out that gentleman and they've hired him again.
He's one of the presenters now.
Yes.
Yeah, but he presents face it with his back to the window.
Yeah, facing the wall. Yeah.
No, the lesson of Nuremberg Toy Fair was don't put top secret stuff in front of an open window.
Yeah.
Yes. And move a little to the left. Yeah.
Right.
No, left.
No, the other left.
So, anything else, guys? Any questions, comments, anything?
Oh, I am super happy with G2 Bruticus and Powermaster Prime.
Oh, me too.
Did they say who's going to take over Jerry Javoin's place in the U.S.?
They did not, but I suspect we'll find out fairly soon.
Well, if not soon, probably by BotCon.
Yeah, I would think by
it's
Toy
not
Fair,
gonna be.
maybe.
It's not going to be like Mark Webber, who is available to be there and had worked on stuff. Jerry will probably be in Italy by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So-
I'm sorry. I'm
Go ahead.
sort of interested in see the packaging for G2 Bruticus almost as much as the figure.
By the time...
Flip through the slides, Don.
Yeah, there's kind of a mock-up.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I didn't see that in the list that I got.
Yeah,
I must not have loaded or something.
Yeah, I didn't see a copy in what I saw either, but
Yeah, it's right before the alt modes.
Okay, because by the time you see this, probably that packaging will have been included in the press kit, and it's pretty much in line with the packaging we've seen for Superion and Venusaur.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's it's not going to be a repeat of the Fall of Cybertron G2 Bruticus packaging,
which is really a shame.
It is.
This looks really, really nice though. But yeah, the fall of Cybertron G2 Bruticus was special.
That lovingly themed packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if I get a Bruticus, it is going to be that version, because for one thing, hopefully the problems with Brawl will have been hashed out by then.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. That's just watching yours on RFC this week, that was so sad.
Yep. Yep.
No, anything else, guys?
I think we're good.
I can't think of anything.
I mean, you covered everything really well, so I think we're probably set.
Okay, well, that'll do it for this. We of course will be back next Wednesday for the live stream and and the podcast. So check us out at tfradio.net, and tune in on Wednesday at tfradio.net/live to catch the show. So till then, everybody take care.
Let's go back, let's go back. Let's go back.